It's not very often a game so completely surprises me that the hour of time I was going to give it for the sake of variety on the channel turns into a determination to see every corner of the game and to make sure as many other people play it as possible, but Outer Wilds certainly fits that description. In the spirit of complete honesty, I have to say I was misty-eyed before I even left the start menu of this game, largely as a result of young composer Andrew Pralo, whose beautiful music, combined with the simple animation of a lonely campfire on a wooded planetoid, somehow manages to capture the unique mixture of hope and sadness that this game evokes in a single minute before you even get to play. Beyond the start menu, the game initially seems kind of cutesy, as you awake in first-person POV under the stars by one of the many campfires that we'll talk about more in just a moment, beside which a little alien is roasting marshmallows. Get used to waking up here, you're going to be doing it a lot. You and your marshmallow roasting companion are Hearthians, hopeful inhabitants of the planetoid Timber Hearth, taking their first tentative steps out into space to explore the other planetoids in their star system. I say planetoids because each of the planets in this star system is handcrafted, and therefore necessarily very small. There is no procedural generation here. Everything you will encounter has been very carefully placed by the developers, and all of it has a purpose. That being said, the star system still seems big and lonely when you launch and begin exploring, and you'll quickly learn that it's wise to have a destination in mind when you leave Timber Hearth behind, because you'll only have 20 minutes to reach it and explore before both you and it are completely annihilated. That got dark quickly, didn't it? Let's go back to that campfire and start again. Something which I don't normally like to do, but you're going to be doing it a lot in Outer Wilds because the entire star system is caught in a 20-minute time loop, at the end of which something, let's call it the event, will cause time to reset to that cutesy moment by the campfire under the stars, and you must start all over again, albeit with all the memories you acquired during the first 20 minutes. I remember reading about this game in OXM in 2018 and thinking, camping in space? I don't know, sounds interesting maybe? And the campfire motif will crop up again and again as you encounter the handful of other brave Hearthians who went before you into the unexplored reaches of the star system. Whether they are dead, or missing, leaving behind only clues, or alive and well, playing their instruments by a campfire, is for you to discover. The real mystery, though, appears to be exploring the ruins and deciphering the writings of an ancient civilization called the Nomai, who inhabited the star system thousands of years ago, and whose story, I presume, holds the key to the time loop and everything else that is happening out in the wider star system. As far as I've been able to tell, your 20 minutes of time begins only once you launch from the surface of your home planet, and a good thing too, as there is a lot to do before you leave. The game doesn't always give you a great deal of help, but there are various activities that you can try out before launching, which are all accompanied by helpful little Hearthian characters, and all designed to help you once you are out there alone, at the mercy of your own ineptitude. There are cameras to practice with, a deserted observation platform where you can try out the scout probe you will need later to help you with your explorations. There's even a zero-G cave where you can practice moving around and repairing structures in zero gravity. I strongly suggest you try this one out, since the physics in this game are designed to turn your primitive grasp of gravity, as well as your character and your tiny spacecraft, on its head. There's a model version of your ship on one of the platforms in your village, which I found to be very little help at all for 3 reasons. Firstly, it doesn't really respond with the weight, delay and inertia of the life-sized version. Secondly, it only teaches you how that craft might respond in this atmosphere with this planet's gravity. And thirdly, it orients itself as you might imagine, around its own axis, independent of you, the observer, whereas your craft will obviously always orient itself around you, the passenger. So it's safe to give this one a miss, or at least pilot the thing a lot more competently than I did. The life-sized version is much more fun, much more dangerous, and much more important, as it is your tour bus to the star system and your home away from home for each 20-minute segment of time you spend exploring the planets, asteroids and moons beyond Timber Hearth. It's about the size of an Apollo lunar excursion module, much more sophisticated in some ways and much less sophisticated in others, having been held together with wood and nails in some places. This doesn't exactly evoke confidence, but you'd be surprised just how sentimentally attached you can become to this tiny little craft in a short space of time. I've played a lot of space games, from Asteroids and the Wireframe Elite of 1984 to Freelancer, Mass Effect and Elite Dangerous. Space is my happy place, but I've rarely become so attached to a craft in such a short space of time. And although that has a lot to do with how much character this seemingly fragile little craft has, for me, it's more that you have to take care of it when it gets a boo-boo. And, as you can probably tell by the skillful way I piloted that model ship, boo-boo is not a sufficiently obscene word for some of the things I've put this poor craft through, and I've only played it for a couple of hours. When you land with all the grace and care of a hand-gliding bison with an inner ear infection, you will inevitably break something. Fly too close to that rogue comet, and you will break something. Fly right into the centre of the sun, because you foolishly assumed the autopilot knew what it was doing, and, well, you'll die, because there's just no coming back from some things. But if your ship gets damaged, you must get in your duct-taped spacesuit, go outside, and fix it yourself. And that means bouncing around outside in whatever gravitational anomaly caused you to crash the thing in the first place. In this game, those are many and varied. Zero-G can be challenging at times, but that is just the tip of the iceberg where gravitational complications are concerned in this game. Some places will pull you in like neutron star clickbait and have gravity so intense your tiny craft will struggle to escape it. Other places have gravity so weak you'll have to fight to carry out any repairs to your ship without floating off the surface. You might accidentally fall into a wormhole and find yourself spat out somewhere else entirely, but Outer Wilds is nothing if not creative. One pair of planetoids, called the Twins, for example, are cracked, broken worlds full of caves and canyons to explore. But they are locked into some sort of gravitational anomaly which causes sand to continually shift between one and the other, meaning that if you don't arrive at the right point in the time stream, the cave is now buried, or that if you don't leave in time, you will be. You will eventually end up killing yourself, or your 20 minutes will run out and the event will do it for you. In either case, you will wake up back at the beginning of the time loop, and whatever you don't remember from the previous loops, the ship's log will. So follow the clues, decipher the alien writings, and explore the colourful variety of worlds and ruins in the star system, all to Andrew Pralo's wonderful soundtrack. But make sure you keep one eye on the time. As always, I may well change my mind further down the road and decide that what looked like a high soaring eagle from a distance is in fact a fat drunken chicken that can't even afford a plane ticket. But for now, I am recommending to anyone and everyone with a PC or an Xbox that they put some time aside for this gorgeous and inventive little game, especially since it's currently available at no extra cost to anyone with Xbox Game Pass. I'm probably having a baby by this point. Or at least watching through my fingers as my poor wife has a baby. At the time of recording is 5 days overdue, so anything could happen at any moment. But the place I most often write about what's happening, both in gaming and elsewhere, is Twitter. So follow me at knights_arcade if you want to keep up with developments as they develop. But if that doesn't interest you, then don't forget to leave a like if you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. There's already a lot on the channel, but I don't plan on going anywhere in the near future, so there will be a lot more coming up. Ring the bell and you should get a notification whenever I post something new. But until then, from Night's Arcade, this is Sleepless Night saying nighty-night.